European cities.
Right.
SmackDown question quick. What do you think the favor is? Because it apparently isn't the one entirely that CM Punk wanted.
That's a good question. What do you guys think? I've got a couple ideas, but
Championship run.
Yeah, it's got to
if
be
ever Roman,
related, right?
if ever Roman wins the championship of either brand, I want first dibs.
Clearly, the favor is a Starbucks gift card.
That could be true.
Damn it, Corey.
Damn it.
And I said it on our most recent episode of AltJake Takes On, but the only thing that would make sense for Mania, and it doesn't make sense, but if they wanted to pull it into this, is that Heyman is in Punk's corner and not Roman's corner for their main event match. But that'd be stupid. I think it has to be title related. It has to be, especially at this point.
Heyman is involved in some way, though.
For sure.
Yeah, because he's given the favor. Of course he is.
Heyman hammed it up so much that I have a feeling that Heyman's going to be hopping sides to join Punk.
Yeah, somebody in the IWC actually has a video close-up of Paul Heyman saying the word "don't do it" when Roman Reigns, during the contract signing, asked CM Punk to acknowledge him. And Paul Heyman was right behind Roman Reigns, and he was just like, don't do it. And that's, it's that kind of geekiness that I used to like in professional wrestling.
That is so spoiling. People who want to be surprised if he turns.
Right.
If he turns against Roman, we want to be shocked. I do not want anybody to think the obvious part.
Well, here's the thing. The WWE has a beautiful way of making you forget about that stuff in about 3-4 weeks.
It's the little things that matter too.
Yeah.
Those little moments and little things and like the stuff in the background. Chris, I see your hands up. What's up, Chris? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. So when I saw that, the first thing I thought of is it's like when Awful would probably look at one of his friends, go, "Don't say the smart ass thing. I know you want to say that smart ass thing. Don't do it. You're gonna get slapped." Like that's what Heyman's looking at Punk. He's like, "Oh, please don't poke the bear."
Gotcha. Okay.
We're almost ending, and it adds to, and he says that's not the favor. So Heyman knows he's sort of trapped in it. Oh shit. Punk's gonna keep poking Roman Reigns, and Roman eventually is gonna turn on me.
He's the best friend that has to be best friends with both guys and doesn't want to be best friends with both guys, but has to play the role anyway.
Yeah, and both guys hate each other because they were with the same girl or something like that. Yeah, trying to play peace.
But ultimately, ultimately, I'm just not that. I'm not that interested in this year's WrestleMania. Just based on how it was built, the people involved. Like, I love the Cena turn, but it's like a little too soon, if you ask me. Like, I don't think we should have seen Cena, really. And it kind of plays into what you said, George. Like, you're having all these great things happen in Europe, and it's just like here in the States, I think the reaction that you really want, they kind of gave Cena the reaction that he needed, the booing him out the building. But ultimately, I don't know. I'm just not feeling this year's WrestleMania. And I swear to God, I think it's because of that three-way with Roman, Rollins, and Punk. I'm like, boy, I am not feeling that one at all.
They have 2 weeks left, or what?
I think it's 3. I think we have. I think it's 3 Raws. Yeah, because what's today? The 30th, and because it's
1st, 8th, 15th.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Man, it comes up quick though, dude. Like seriously,
doesn't it?
Oh, shit,
doesn't it?
Yeah. like no, they've got plenty of. Oh shit! It's like when somebody says, 10 years ago, and you're like, yeah, that was 2005. No, dude. Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah,
it's right. Yeah, but I mean, I do think that the Cody and Cena match will be great. I feel like the triple threat, even if you're not excited for the build, it should deliver. But yeah, no, the only thing I can really say for this WrestleMania build is it's very top heavy. They've got some, but I think you're right about why they did that with where it is and when it is. It's it'll start at 7:00 Eastern time, but shit, that's 4:00 local time. I mean, it's not even going to be like the sun going down. The sun's going to be fully out.
Right.
Awful. Of the two main events, which one's going to be the most overbooked?
Oh, Cena, Cody, easily.
Okay. Yeah, with Rock.
I mean, I'm halfway expecting an appearance from Hulk Hogan at the end of that match.
He's the third
because
man.
of all the overbooking that might be done. But I hope Cena wins. That will be my.
I can't wait for them because he's also going to be by.
Oh, he's definitely has to be involved somehow.
Yeah, true.
They're going to have the match of the year, the match at the Hall of Fame, and
Right,
So,
we didn't talk about that. That's actually a good thing to bring up. Is what people thought about the that they're inducting matches into the hall. Or I guess they're calling it moments because
yeah.
eventually they'll probably put in like
Yeah.
the beer bath and stuff too. But I feel it's best to start it with matches.
Right.
Katie
Yeah.
Right.
giving birth to Katie Vick giving birth
Oh,
to a hand
yeah.
at the end there. Yes.
Honcho.
Yeah.
Finally.
Dude, we haven't had that type of match.
Hang on.
Like
You
that
conflated two
forever.
things there, George. There's Katie Vick, which is Triple H, and then giving birth to a hand is Mae Young. We have two separate horrible
Yeah.
moments.
So you're telling me that R.D. Reynolds is going to have a WrestleCrap section of the WrestleMania Hall of Fame?
I mean,
Because that's all I'm
kinda
seeing.
checked that way. All right, I see a hand up from Don. Is that Don? I see a hand up. What's up, Don?
Oh, there go Don. Hey.
Hello, gang. Thanks for having me on the show. Just got a couple of things here.
Always. What's up, buddy?
So, I would agree with you to a point that this WrestleMania has not been a great build-up, but I lived through WrestleMania 8 and 9, so miss me with that
Yeah.
bullshit.
How
I've
about
seen the
me?
lowest of the low, so I don't want to hear that. My other point in this whole thing is maybe, and just hear
Don
me
coming
out,
in hot.
Coming in hot. I love it.
maybe this WrestleMania is so fucking top heavy that we're not appreciating what we're getting from the top to the bottom. Because there was a time I remember the Killer Bees was a mid-card match filler, and I had to deal with that bullshit, the young child, and deal with what that was going on. I got some shit going on right now where I've got 2 3-ways and I'm bitching as a fan. Maybe it's not wrestling. Maybe it's the fans that are missing the mark here. And I get it. It's not for a title. It's not for anything other than a spot. But there's more behind the story. And I got to think, look, man, it's been 3 years running and the product is hot. You just got to let the shit simmer on the pot sometimes
Love it.
and see where it goes, because I don't think CM Punk has finished playing his trump card. Excuse the pun, but I don't think we're there yet.
I like it. No,
Don, your passion is
I
wonderful.
love it.
my
Yeah.
friend. Wonderful.
Seriously, get me fired up. I love it. I love
To be
it.
fair, Don is late. We done already explored that.
Yeah.
We all, bro, we love you, Don. But yes, you're absolutely
Take it,
correct.
Don.
But we were just opining like how we had to live through, just like you said, WrestleMania 8, 9, 8's build, WrestleMania 9's build. Hell, there's probably 10 other ones that we had to suffer through.
WrestleMania 2000.
But yeah,
There's a couple in there
but
too.
we're
Yeah, they're bad.
yeah. But you know one thing that we can all agree on? It's either at the show of WrestleMania or just literally maybe the day after, where it's just like, that was good. It's usually, if the WrestleMania card was shit, the Monday Night Raw afterwards was great. So
Yep.
you take the good with the bad.
And I feel like
But shout out, Don.
Yeah, and if anything, the current administration and the current creative, like, I'm happy to let them cook. Like, sometimes people will I've been called a shill or whatever by the IWC because it's like, just wait. If it ends up being shitty, fine. Then let's make fun of it. Then we can joke about it. But when people are bitching about what they think's gonna happen, like I remember with back to Punk and Rollins, where everybody thought it was gonna be Rollins that joined the War Games team. Like, what a stupid angle. That's so dumb. It didn't make any sense. Blah blah blah. And then Punk comes out, and it's this awesome moment that breaks the internet. And it's like, just shut up and let him cook for a minute.
Shout out Julian Weeks. Every goddamn other tweet, he's just like, you motherfuckers, just be patient.
Yeah, right.
Let things simmer, cook.
He and I live in the same state. I feel like I'm gonna run into him at a show one of the times. If I do, I'm gonna get a selfie.
You already have. He was on. I think he was on the Revolution stream.
Oh no, I mean, like, I don't know, like physically at a real show.
Oh yeah.
No, because we're in this. He lives in North
Oh
Phoenix.
yeah,
I live
shit!
in
I
Phoenix.
forgot.
Yeah.
All
But he
right,
usually
whoever
goes
had
to
their-
shows because we have 2 arenas here, and there's one out in Glendale and one down here in Phoenix. He usually goes to shows in Glendale, and that's a little far for me. So I try to go to the ones in Phoenix because I don't have to drive. I can take the light rail so I can enjoy the shows more.
All right, there's three of y'all with your hands up. Pick one and go.
Well, I think we already. If Don wants to go again, he can rent again for sure.
I'm scared of Don.
I saw Chris come up, and then what's up, everybody?
All right, so
one that hasn't
What up, bro?
In fairness to Don and everybody here, was last year's WrestleMania that great in terms of the mid card? It was what, the Pride versus Final Testament. Nobody cared. LA Knight, AJ Styles, that played out. You had the 6-pack tag team ladder match, which was played out. Rey Mysterio. That was a top heavy card. It was The Rock, Roman versus Cody Rollins. It was Cody versus Roman finishing the storyline, and to a smaller extent, it was Bayley versus Gil. But even that felt sort of we got spoiled last year. We got spoiled. We got Rock coming back thanks to WB firing him, and so all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, The Rock is back! Yay! And now it's like,
that's
okay,
a good point.
We went from Pacquiao Mayweather to you're getting Pacquiao versus, let's say Jordanis Ugas. Like, okay, yeah, it's good. It's not great, but it's good.
Nobody
but
here
last
knows.
year we had better. Last year we just had the steak and the potatoes, and the fries, and the milkshake, and everything, and now we get just a burger and fries.
I like a burger and fries.
Yeah, but when you get steak and a shake and everything.
I get you. No, I get what you're saying. That is a very valid point because when you think of last year's WrestleMania, it's the two main events, and then obviously, the big replay moment is the last 10 minutes of Cody beating Roman. So it's a good point.
And that's
also,
a very.
When you're going to start.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry, George.
It's okay. You know when you're going to start liking WrestleMania the day before Friday.
Yeah, it usually happens that way, doesn't it? It usually happens that way.
Hey, if you get a good video package, it can sell a lot of folks. I mean, we're still watching the video package from WrestleMania 17. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. One of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. But as far as that WrestleMania moment being enshrined in the Hall of Fame, the Stone Cold versus Bret Hart match, what other matches do you guys see? Because I've like three right off the top of my head. Like, that should be Hogan Rock. Okay, good. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. I mean, the Hogan Rock.
Did I just say to you guys, are you guys forgetting about Naomi and Jade, which is probably the best undercard feud going in wrestling right now?
Where'd that go? We were just talking about the Hall of Fame. What happened?
I'll answer that real quick. It's one of the Jade versus Naomi is one of those matches that you're excited to see the second it happens. You know what I mean? But anytime before that, it's just like,
No, it's not. It's a feud.
The vignette that Naomi cut on Friday was great. That was a really good. That backstage.
Did you not see her and Bianca 2 weeks ago? That was probably one.
Yeah.
That was one of the best women's segments I've ever seen personally. And I wanted to say about one of the guys. Can I talk, please? One of the guys said talking about Bayley and Io. Bayley and Io last year was a match of the year contender for women's wrestling. So I just wanted to point that out. With Io being added to the women's match this year, it's going to be a lot better than just having Bianca and Rhea. At least that's how I see it. Because Io is the best women's wrestler on the planet right now.
Oh wow, we've got to stand. Okay,
I'm not a stan. I'm a 40-year-old guy who likes wrestling.
Okay,
I'm not
going to ask
stan.
you a question, if you don't mind. Would you want it to be Would you want it
What's
to be
that?
a three-way? Do you want it to be a three-way the way it is, or would you rather have individual?
Yes, because you have a 2-night SummerSlam where you can have Bianca and build Bianca and Rhea for the summer, and you've already started that with the feud of letting cook Bianca's heel turn, right?
That's not my question though. My question is, would you rather have Io and Bianca, Io and Rhea, or do you like the three-way? Is what I was asking. I'm sorry.
I like the 3-way.
Okay.
Right away.
Well, and it's a point too.
Wrestling match you're talking about, right? Or
look at the story they're telling it now. You're using it like Io's.
I think
Anyway.
they're gonna have they're gonna do the second Women's Evolution pay-per-view or PLE come this.
We don't know yet. We don't know yet.
Yeah,
according
July
to
5th.
According to the Mohegan Sun, they put it out that that's what the show is, but we'll see. But I mean, there's plenty of PLEs, and like you said, they're going to be doing SummerSlam as 2 nights. There's probably going to be more of that kind of stuff. Never mind, there's Saturday night's main events to have those singles matches. So it does make sense. But I think at some point there's going to be a big money singles match of Rhea and Bianca. Thank you, though. Good stuff. We appreciate all opinions.
No,
we're good.
And the one thing I want to ask you guys, like, I find with this year's card, I find like guys like Solo Sikoa were pushed down our throats the last 2 years. Like, I just don't care about what he's going to do at Mania. I don't want him on Mania card. Yeah, I'd rather have like a Braun Strowman Jacob Fatu match.
Exactly. I'm with you 100%.
So that's just me. But yeah, no, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
No, you're good. We love it.
And I'm liking the bill personally, but that's just me.
So you can't do much better than that. We love it. Thank you.
Do you guys think that Ross could be on Raw tomorrow?
Tomorrow? Probably.
Yeah, because WrestleBoats put out right before the European tour, the WrestleBoats put out a tweet that says they expect The Rock to be on at least one of the shows with Cena, and tomorrow's the last one. And I'm just curious, like, they got to do something because they haven't done anything yet. Like, it's been regurgitation the last 2 weeks. So
yeah, they haven't mentioned this at all on purpose. So you might
be right. No, it's frustrating.
Haven't mentioned it.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too, my friend.
Hey, real quick, I just wanted to add to Don's point for WrestleMania build. I got to see Booker T and Edge feud over a Pantene commercial one time going into WrestleMania. So I'm fine with the build. Like I've seen, man, I sit through WrestleMania 7.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Where it was moved for safety reasons. Yeah.
Safety reasons.
Safety reasons. Yeah. That's safety reasons because they didn't want a completely open half stadium.
Yeah. But yeah, anytime you see people start feuding over shampoo commercial that takes a cake.
Yeah.
Since
no,
on
that's a good
since
point.
on our spaces we don't get that many celebrities or celebrity appearances. If you have any questions for Awful, that would be nice.
Oh, man, I am not a celebrity.
You are
in our
you are
in our
nice,
little
buddy.
world here. In our little world here, yes, you are. Sir.
Yeah. You figured
Hey,
anybody
I-
would
I appreciate that.
You love it.
But I do have a
Okay.
I do have a controversial pick for the
Uh-oh.
the matches
Oh,
for
please.
the Hall of Fame match. I love the Ultimate Warrior versus Macho Man match at WrestleMania 7. I could watch that day or night on an
Okay.
empty stomach or on a full stomach. It's a great match, and I think everybody should watch it. Phenomenal
Yeah, no,
from top
I mean,
to bottom.
that is a good one. That's I don't know if it's so much controversial, but it's one of those things where you don't think about it, then you hear it and you're like, oh yeah, it's kind of like when
Oh yeah,
somebody make Hall of Fame, like not in the first few ballots, but like towards the end because they built up enough goodwill. People are like, oh shit, he was really good, wasn't he? No, that's a good one. I like that.
You got to put in like Rock and Andre, right?
You mean Hogan and Andre?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
What did I say?
no, you're good. That's what we're here.
Rock and Andre.
Oh my God.
No,
Oh, that would have been a good match.
When Andre changed the Rock's diaper.
Hey, Dewey. No, that that was the first match that I thought of when Awful asked the question earlier. But then you said Rock and Hogan, which really is probably the best overall WrestleMania match. Like another one probably would be like the two matches together of Taker and Shawn at WrestleMania 25 and 26, which in our world, that's Shawn Michaels' last match. I don't pretend that Saudi wasn't canon yet when they went over there and he was bald and shit got weird. Because I mean, that match, I was at the second one. That's the only WrestleMania I've been to is 26. And that was the match that closed that show. And it was awesome. So those would be like the few that I would put in. Yeah, that'll be the best match I ever see live. And like, you knew it then. We were walking out of the stadium like, yeah, I'm never seeing a better match live. Like, that was just awesome.
I'll hit you with one. What about AEW matches Hall of Fame?
Ooh. I'll tell you
That's
one. Cody versus Dustin was a phenomenal match. Damn, there was one. And you're gonna hate me, but I was thoroughly entertained when it was Willow Nightingale versus, I believe, Chris Statlander. And the match only took place maybe like 3 or 4 months. It was just a fucking melee brawl where they just used everything in their disposal, and it was a logical garbage match, if that makes any sense. But
you're pulling out things you would actually use and not British toothbrushes, as you said.
Yeah,
but that would pop me. That's a good one.
But other than that,
matches I always liked was it when Darby and MJF like let off a pay-per-view and MJF said he was going to beat him with the headlock takeover, and they made that work and it was logical, and MJF still got over as a heel. Like, that was a really good match. One of the few matches that I can remember where I was like, shit, that was actually really good.
I hate to jump in here, but I hate this. I hate having matches in the Hall of Fame. It was done in the UFC because they wanted to put Stephen Bonner in the Hall of Fame because, Bonner was an all-time favorite of Dana White, and his record wasn't that good. You don't need that in pro wrestling because you can have great matches that nobody sees on a house show or on a Raw, and we forget because it's like, we've had so many episodes of Raw. I think
it's what they're trying to go with, like the iconic moments. Like, yes, it's the Austin and Bret Hart match, but really, what's going into the Hall of Fame is Austin with the blood in his tooth, and then not. I guess it's really, but I understand what you're saying completely.
Put this match in while they're both alive, right?
It also is a good way of like, we can guarantee Stone Cold's in Vegas, right, for what Dee was saying earlier, that he could come out either with Cody or something with it. Because, I mean, even if Cody loses, but the show ends with, Austin stunning Rock, you're sending the crowd home happy. Like, you're not going to not be happy if you see that happen in person. Like, let's be real. Nobody took a stunner better than Rock. I don't know if it can still flip over like he used to with his giant shoulders now. But, hey, we're willing to give it a shot. I see a hand up from Daniel Nutt Kreger, who's one of our #1 commenters on our on the YouTube page. So thanks, buddy. Wait, do you have something you want to say to us, my friend? You're on mute if you don't know. I get to see your hand up. If not, no big deal.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, buddy? Glad to have you
here. What's happening?
Yes, I finally figured out how to operate this damn thing.
This is the easier way to be interactive than through trying to chat on YouTube. So it's kind of why we.
Yeah, irony. I work in IT. Can't operate this. But yeah, I got a question. For Awful, is there anybody left that you think can move the needle for AEW? Because I don't see it.
Yes.
I don't see it. Like,
Here's what you do. And I'm not joking when I say this. It's going to sound comical, but I fucking mean it. You have Jon Moxley come out there on Wednesday, okay? You have him cut his maudling promo, and then you have Shelton fucking Benjamin come out there and challenge that man for the belt at the 10 o'clock hour. Okay, this all happens from 8 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, Moxley fucking tries to find a way to screw Shelton out of the match before the match happens. 9:45 happens. Now you've got Shelton versus Moxley championship. Somehow Tony Khan signed the contract or whatever, and Shelton Benjamin beats the fuck out of Jon Moxley for about, 8-9 minutes, pins him, and wins the championship. You need something. You know what AEW needs? They need their Brock Lesnar, Kofi Kingston moment. They need something that's going to literally just shake up everything and damn near start the whole process all over again. And when you have somebody like, now listen, you could kind of interchange Shelton Benjamin with anybody you mentioned.
But same idea, 100%.
Excellent. Just same rules apply.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So make that happen so that way you get something that goes online and the people, the IWCNN goes, wow, look at this. And then they gif it up and they put it on their little clips or whatever. And by next week, you might have made enough waves so that more people will come in and watch the program. But whatever you do, you got to start it at 8 and end it at 10.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And as far as like people from outside the company, that would make sense. I think the only one, it's not about who he brings in and like can move the needle, because there's never any fucking follow-up. That's the problem.
There will be none. Right.
Yeah, that's the problem. This would be the best way to do it, because that would be doing something and setting it up for follow-up of either Samoa Joe or Shelton Benjamin standing there with the belt, like, come get it. We're going to actually wrestle for this fucking thing, as opposed to...
Yeah, have them take the briefcase, pry it open with a crowbar, hold that thing up nice and shiny, and now you have a new champion. Seriously. Something you've got to go off the air with so that people all the way up to the 10 o'clock hour and possibly even more are still watching. Like, I don't care who's on the program, you bed that entire show with Shelton Benjamin's going up against Jon Moxley, and Jon Moxley is going to do everything he can in the next 2 hours to prevent that match from happening. Yep. That's how you book that show.
I'm with you 100%.
Never had
or Bobby Lashley or Darby. Like I said, you name them. But by the end of the new champion, done.
Yeah, just
they've
somebody.
Never had a constant thread go out a whole show ever. I don't think, though, have they?
No. I'm
asking.
Small, but no, nothing. I mean, not that I can think of. That's the whole problem with the show, is they were, especially when they started booking mostly just week to week. Even though Tony said, "Now we're just booking week to week."
I have somebody who can save AEW.
Okay,
Awful's gonna like this.
Well, if you say Monet versus Sammy Guevara, I'm gonna kick you out.
You guys, no. We do this whole thing, and at the end of the night, he's raising his title. Awful comes out and he says, "Hey, I want to introduce the toughest challenger." No, just listen. The toughest challenger ever to Jon Moxley, a man who is a legitimate badass and could beat everybody up. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of AEW, Jake Paul.
That's not what I was expecting.
Hey, Jake, you don't have a car crash sound, do you?
No, I don't have a soundboard for this one. No.
We don't do sound. Not technical.
You get a social media guy. You get somebody who's cool. You get somebody who you know is going to sell crap to anybody, can make it stick. I mean, he sold us on Mike Tyson.
Tony Khan had a shit the day they had to air that commercial with Jake and Logan Paul on their television. I'm almost certain of it. So watching any of the Paul brothers come into AEW and do anything is not going to work. Listen, you can bring in anybody into AEW. How it's going to be promoted, and since you're going to rely on people online to promote your shit, this is how you do it. This is how you do it.
Yeah, you
got to shock the world.
Within.
Yeah,
you got to build from within the company.
That's how you shock the world. You bring in Jake Paul. You bring somebody that's not the usual AEW. Oh yes, we're wrestling.
They brought in Snoop Dogg. They brought in Shaquille O'Neal. They brought in Mike Tyson. Didn't make a damn. So much so, my friend, that they tried to put it on in their intro for their Dynamite show. And then when people like me and other people saw that it was bullshit, they never went to that goddamn intro ever again. That's crazy. They never. I'm so excited. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
I'm sorry, but they're not going to do all that. You wish they would do that.
He's really hanging his hat on this one.
He's got a nothing else to add. In that thing, but
right, everyone's talking at once.
That's true.
But it's just, it wouldn't. I mean, there's no. him specific, Paul specific, but he could bring in Conor McGregor and like have him be trained to wrestle, and it would still fail miserably.
Oh my goodness, Jake, that's off the budget for.
I'm just saying it doesn't matter who he brings.
I'm sorry, but
yeah.
he's with Don.
But
He's
yeah,
with, Dana White.
gentlemen, I see that it's 9:30, almost 9:30, and I gotta get out of here.
Yeah,
but
okay, awful. Where can people find you every week?
oh man, they can find me here on X at AEWFUL Wrestling. I will have 2 brand new videos this week, including the ratings video, and you can also catch me every Tuesday on Toonie Talk Wrestling at youtube.com/@Toon Wrestling with my great guest, or excuse me, my great co-host. Yeah, they're gonna hate me on that one, kick my ass.
Yep.
But and also, yeah, really, he's been watching me. He's a Fed. Don't let him scare you. Shout out Neck Beers. But also, I want everybody to like and subscribe to AltJake's new YouTube channel.
Thank you, sir.
Come on, let's get him to 30. Let's get him to 30 subscribers, folks.
Oh, no,
let's do it.
No,
I'm joking.
I'm joking.
Hey,
I'm
joking.
130 would be great. We're doing good. I love it. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you very much for your time, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Yes, no problem. You guys have a great night. Peace.
My friend.
Awesome.
Hey, Uncle.
I'll think about
Before
it.
you go,
Peace.
can we get?
How'd it go?
Can we get the Toonie t-shirts?
He's gone already.
Oh, he already gone.
They do need merch though.
Are
You're
so
right.
good to have.
They I feel like probably not beat up tees, but because I don't know.
No, Toonie Town's got their stuff up on.
Do they? Nice.
Go to their YouTube page. You'll find a tee.
Yeah,
it's
the YouTube has the section for it where you can do merch from there.
I already know where it is. I saw it.
Nice. I see Don's hand went back up. Are we ready in for another Don run in? I like that. That was good. That guy gave me some energy, man. I loved it.
Well, thank you again. Just a couple things because I also have to get out of here real quick before the workday calls. But a couple things. Any Macho Man or Bret Hart match in WrestleMania should automatically be goated in WrestleMania matches. It's not up for debate. It's not up for a political poll. They always put on a great match, and I don't miss you with that bullshit. Like I said earlier, they never underperformed in any match ever. Also,
agree.
The Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley shit. Here it is. They're giving Io a moment in the sun. No one cares outside of Io Sky fans. I do not give a shit one way or the other if she is part of this match. The only thing I want to see is 2 big broads go at it. And if you tell me otherwise, quit being a stand. There's 2 female stars in this company, and Charlotte's trying to creep back in the picture, and I don't want to hear it.
Well, we know how you feel. That's for sure.
I've said for the longest time the biggest money women's match in that company is is Rhea versus Bianca. I mean, I understand why they're putting Io in the match and it will be good, but yeah, I think that's why they get either Women's Evolution 2 main event or the women's main event of SummerSlam will be.
Well, I'm glad you understand it. If you could explain it to me later, I'd appreciate it because it looks like a 4-year-old toddler walked into the goddamn ring with 2 grown women, and it makes no sense to me.
Fair enough. I
like
it. Yeah, no. Well, George, we can write that down. We can try to have that as a topic for another show because we want to keep producing content for everybody. So, but
yeah, why the young girl wrestler is popular? That might not be a good one.
Yeah, by the one who's short and fit. Yeah, and I mean she does.
Thank you for joining us.
She is entertaining for what she does for moves, but I fully. Yeah, the big money matches, Rhea and Bianca. It looks like there's one more hand up. I feel like we probably have time for one, maybe 2 more things. We try to make these things an hour and a half, and we've already got 90 minutes. And really? I'm going to a concert in about 2 hours. So, but yeah, who else's hand is up? It looks like, yeah.
Oh, well, and I was just going to say one of the reasons I think Io's in it. I think Io is like Triple H's favorite wrestler of all time or something.
Yeah. Okay.
I think there's a connection. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and she is kind of willing to do anything with it. And there's part of those people. I mean, there's always that talk of Dusty's kids that people always talk about. Yeah. But I feel like there's definitely this section of people that were with Triple H through the NXT days when it was the black and gold that are.
That's his Gargano right there.
Yeah.
So
no, that's
he's yeah. And plus she can bump around too. So
that's why I think she's in there is that she can crazy bumps and it will be a great match. Like the 3 of them are talented. They've worked together enough. Like it'll be a great match, but. I still am surprised it's not going to main event night 1, but here we are.
I think to your point, they were just trying to get as many people in matches as they can. That's why you have all these multi-man matches.
Agreed. Yeah, that's where the Andre the Giant Battle Royal could really kind of clean some of this up. But you can only have so many matches. You can't have, they're not trying to be AEW and have 14 matches on each night. Thanks, but no thanks.
All right, Daniel, you're going to close things out for us tonight.
Yep.
Number 1, what concert?
It's a band called Refused. People might know them if you look up their song called New Noise. You probably heard it. They were a band that was getting somewhat popular in the late '90s, playing like hardcore music, and then they broke up. And they're from Sweden, so they rarely ever tour the States. I've only ever seen them at a music festival.
Didn't Refuse do the song from Cyberpunk?
Probably. That sounds accurate.
No,
Yeah.
Chipping In. I think they did Chipping
That
In.
sounds accurate. Yeah, I'm more of a fan of their stuff from like '99 and 2000, but yeah, the concert's like 20 minutes away from me, and literally the tour is called because they broke up and they released a DVD called "Refused or Fucking Dead." That's the name of this tour because they're all in their 50s now. They're like, we can't be playing hardcore music anymore. So, but yeah, I'm going to that tonight, and I'm very, very excited. 19-year-old Jake is pumped right now. 42-year-old Jake, my back's gonna hurt tomorrow, but hey, it's fine. It's fine.
So we're going to end this on a musical note.
They said that was question 1. I think he has 2.
Well,
if you have a second one, by all means, we can talk more about it.
Yeah, I saw a lot of takes online that were upset about the fact that the Roman Punk Seth match was the words I heard was no stakes, no meaning nothing main event, which I think is crap because I mean the main event matters because Punk has talked about it for 2 years since the day he come back.
Well, even like the match that I talked about with Shawn Michaels and Taker at WrestleMania 26. I mean, yes, it was Shawn was going to retire if he didn't win, but that match went on last, and I think they learned their lesson from WrestleMania 18 because everybody remembers Rock versus Hogan. But what happened? They had to have Triple H versus Jericho after that, and it was a great match, but nobody remembers it. So it's one of those things.
It's a great trivia question.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I saw the rematch on a house show of Triple H and Jericho that when they toured right after Mania that year.
House shows are very underrated, and it kind of sucks they don't do as many as they used to because the two most I've been to a lot of shows. I've been to a SummerSlam, a Royal Rumble, a Mania. 2 of the most fun shows I ever had were the 2 house shows I went to. So, but yeah, that was awesome, guys. Thanks. That's easily the way more than we've ever had for a Spaces. That was an awesome turnout. Thanks, everybody. We do this every Sunday at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Please go and follow our YouTube page, youtube.com/@AltJakeTakesOn, or just go to my profile, click on there. I've got links to videos, links to the page. We are trying to gain followers, which from the notifications I got, we gained a few during this, which is the entire point. So, but yeah, thanks everybody. This was awesome. Hope you have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.